we further elaborated on the key aspects of the President's broadcast and reiterated his determination to lead us to a victory over the pandemic. This has informed continual dialogue and experience sharing with development partners and friendly countries. A reassuring telephone conversation between Mr. President and President Donald Trump of the United States of America, during which they exchanged ideas on emergency responses, further highlights the global response to this pandemic and underscores the collaboration between all nations in solving the problem. We therefore welcome and appreciate the offer of ventilators and other items by the American President. In line with Mr. President's directive in paragraph 34 to 41 of his broadcast, the Presidential Task Force has developed sector-specific guidelines. The gradual reopening of the economy will span a total of 6 weeks, broken into 3 tranches of 2 weeks each. The first strategy is designed to reduce the pains of socio-economic disruptions while strengthening our public health response, which would ultimately reduce the recovery of our economy and provide succor to the poor and vulnerable. To underscore the collaborative efforts with subnational levels of government, they are encouraged to provide leadership in engaging relevant associations responsible for various sectors, e.g. market associations and transport unions, for orderly and effective implementation. Similarly, I want to emphasize the need for security agencies to strictly enforce these new measures that have been put in place. Following the pronouncement of the President, it has become necessary to provide initial clarifications for Nigerians on some of the new measures, such as the overnight curfew, interstate travels, and related matters. Specific details will be provided shortly by the National Coordinator. For the avoidance of doubt, the following clarifications are provided. The overnight curfew is applicable nationwide. 8 p.m. Monday, 4th of May, 2020. Interstate travels are banned except for the movement of goods, agro products, petroleum products, essential services, ECG, such as directed by Mr. President. Third, the management of various offices, premises, and businesses that will be gradually reopened are mandated to ensure that the following preparatory steps are taken. A, fumigation and decontamination. B, arrangement made for physical distancing. C, provision of hand sanitizers and hand washing facilities. D, application of the policy of mandatory use of face masks. E, provision of thermometers for temperature checks. F, consideration must be given to persons living with disabilities while making all these arrangements. G, increased communication with staff on COVID-19 and the measures put in place. And H, any other measure that may be peculiar for the organization or the sector. 4, mass gatherings of more than 20 persons outside of workplace is strictly prohibited. 5, control access to neighborhood of economic activities will be enforced. 6, mandatory temperature checks will be conducted in public places. 7, social distancing of 2 meters to be maintained between people in workplaces and other public places. 8, all passenger flights remain under bar. And 9, mandatory supervised isolation of persons arriving from outside the country for at least 14 days. State governments, in cooperation with security agencies and relevant trade associations, are strongly advised to ensure that these measures are strictly enforced. I must emphasize once more that the easing of restrictions and introduction of revised measures do not amount to the end of the battle against COVID-19. Indeed, it signifies the need for more vigilance, stringent compliance, so that we are not lured into complacency capable of diminishing the progress we have made so far. In furtherance of tackling the situation in Kano, the technical team of public health experts sent by the Presidential Task Force has begun the evaluation of the situation in the state, working in collaboration with the state's team. I'm pleased to inform you that the operationalization of the laboratories in the Aimee Kano Teaching Hospital and Bayero University Kano will considerably improve our response to the pandemic in Kano State. Additionally, 50 trucks out of the about 200 meant to be sent to Kano of assorted grains have been sent to Kano and due for delivery within the next 48 hours. The Presidential Task Force appreciates the cooperation of the Governor and the medical team in Kano. I need to, at this point, mention the role of research in this exercise. We must encourage our local scientists and deepen our capacity for research. There is a huge role for all the relevant research institutes to play at this time. The Federal Ministry of Health is coordinating the process in conjunction with the National Institute for Medical Research and the National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development. We have received information on domestic and international claims about emerging inventions on COVID-19. These are most welcome, but scientific validation process and protocols will have to be followed. We are open to all options for the good of humanity. The Presidential Task Force appreciates the feedback, reports, and suggestions and constructive criticisms received from Nigerians on its activities. Through the WhatsApp platform deployed on telephone number 070-535-36666. We look forward to more interaction to enable us to improve on our work. Once again, we urge everyone as citizens to take responsibility for their actions so that we can collectively overcome the COVID-19 scourge. I would not fail to reiterate the need for Nigerians to please continue to adhere to the laid-down adversaries. Once again, I appreciate the members of the press for your patience and our frontline workers for your invaluable contributions to the success of this war. The Presidential Task Force continues to receive donations in kind from different organizations and groups to support the fight against COVID-19. This morning, the Ansar-Uddin Society of Nigeria donated assorted food items. The Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International Nigeria has also donated the sum of 10 million naira. The Presidential Task Force, indeed the nation, appreciates these gestures and assure the donors that the resources will be judiciously applied. In addition to the updates by the Minister of Health, the DG, Center for Disease Control, and the National Coordinator, ministers may also update you if necessary during this briefing. I now yield the podium to the Honorable Minister of Health to update you all. Thank you.